Title: The Kitchen He Never Built, opening hook. He promised to build her a kitchen. Not just any kitchen. A kitchen for his best friend's little sister. The girl who used to make him toast after school, patch his cuts when the boys got into fights, and call him family long before blood had anything to do with it. He stood in her old house, looked her in the eyes and said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of everything." Then he took the money, ripped out half the kitchen, disappeared for weeks, and when they finally found out where the money had gone, it was already sitting inside poker machines, drug debts, and the pockets of people who never cared if a family had a place to cook dinner again. But the worst part was not the kitchen. The worst part was who did it. Chapter 1. Brothers Without Blood. Before everything fell apart, Marcus and Ben were the kind of friends people thought were brothers. They met in Year 7 when Marcus was a skinny kid with second-hand shoes and a temper too big for his body. Ben was quieter, bigger, the kind of boy who stepped in before things got ugly. When 3 older boys cornered Marcus behind the school gym, Ben did not ask questions. He just walked over, stood beside him and said, "You touch him, you touch me." From that day on, they were inseparable. Ben had dinner at Marcus's house more than he had dinner at his own. Marcus's mum called him her spare son. Marcus's little sister, Lily, used to trail behind them with a packet of crayons, begging to be included. "Go away, Lil," Marcus would say. But Ben never did that. He would crouch down and say, "All right, boss, what are we drawing today?" Lily adored him. To her, Ben was not just Marcus's best mate. He was safe. He was family. He was the person who remembered her birthday when half the adults forgot. He was the one who fixed her bike chain, carried heavy boxes when she moved, and once drove 3 hours in the rain because her car broke down on the federal highway. So when Lily bought her first home, everyone knew who she would call first. The house was old, weatherboard, cracked paint, crooked fence, but it was hers. The only real problem was the kitchen. The cupboard sagged. The bench had water damage. The stove only worked when it felt like it. One drawer was permanently jammed, and the tiles behind the sink were lifting away from the wall like they were trying to escape. Lily did not have much money. She worked in aged care and picked up extra shifts whenever she could. She'd saved for years just to get the deposit on the house. A new kitchen felt impossible. Then Ben came over. By then, Ben had started his own small renovation business. Nothing huge, bathroom upgrades, decks, carpentry jobs, flat pack installs. He was good with his hands, charming with clients, and always looked like he had a plan. He walked through Lily's kitchen, tapped the walls, measured the bench, opened the cupboards, and smiled. "I can fix this," he said. Lily laughed because she thought he meant one cupboard. Ben shook his head. "No, I mean all of it. New cabinets, new bench tops, splashback, better storage, the lot. I'll do it properly." Marcus looked at him. "Mate, she can't afford a full kitchen." Ben put his arm around Marcus and looked at Lily. "She's family, I'll do it for cost. You just cover materials and a bit for labour. I won't make money off you." Lily's eyes filled with tears. She should have said no. She should have got 3 quotes. She should have asked for a written contract. But this was Ben. This was the boy who used to sit at their dinner table. This was the man who called Marcus brother. This was someone they trusted more than most relatives. So Lily transferred him $12,000. It was almost everything she had left. Chapter 2. The First Crack. At first, everything looked promising. Ben arrived early on a Monday with tools, dust sheets, and 2 workers Marcus did not know. He was full of energy, talking through the plan like he had done it 100 times. By the end of the day, half the kitchen was gone. The old cabinets were stacked in the driveway. The cracked tiles were stripped. The sink had been disconnected. Lily made coffee in the laundry and laughed about it, saying it felt like an adventure. Ben told her the new cabinets would arrive by Friday. Friday came. No cabinets. Ben said the supplier had delayed them. The next week, he said one of his workers had hurt his back. Then his ute needed repairs. Then he got food poisoning. Then he stopped answering calls before midday. Marcus noticed small things first. Ben's eyes were different. Glassy one day, bloodshot the next. He lost weight fast. He started talking too quickly, then disappearing mid-sentence. He borrowed $200 from Marcus and forgot to pay it back. Lily tried to stay patient. Every night she cooked with an air fryer on a folding table. Her plates sat in plastic tubs. She washed mugs in the bathroom sink. She laughed about it at first, then less and less. 3 weeks became 6. 6 became 9. The kitchen stayed half-gutted. One night, Marcus drove to Ben's house. The front lawn had not been mowed in months. Empty drink cans sat near the door. There was music inside, low and heavy. Marcus knocked. No answer. He knocked again. Finally, Ben opened the door. He looked terrible. His cheeks were hollow, his hands shook slightly. His pupils were too wide. Marcus stepped back. "Mate, what's going on?" Ben rubbed his face. "Nothing. I'm just tired." "You've left my sister without a kitchen for 2 months. I know, I'm sorting it." "Where are the cabinets?" Ben looked away for half a second. It was tiny, almost nothing. But Marcus saw it, the first real crack. "Ben," Marcus said quietly, "where is Lily's money?" Ben's face changed, not guilt, anger. "Don't start that with me." Marcus stared at him. "Where is it?" I said, "I'm sorting it. You took 12 grand from my sister." "I didn't take it. She paid me for a job." "A job you haven't done." Ben stepped forward. "Careful." Marcus almost laughed, not because it was funny, but because he could not believe what he was seeing. This was Ben, his Ben. The same person who had once stood between him and 3 bullies was now standing in a dirty doorway, threatening him over his sister's money. Marcus left without saying another word, but that night he could not sleep. Chapter 3. The truth comes out. The truth did not arrive all at once. It came in pieces, a message from someone who had seen Ben at the club at 2 a.m, a call from a supplier saying no cabinet order had ever been placed, a worker who admitted Ben owed him money and had not paid wages for weeks. Then Lily checked the invoice Ben had sent her. The business number was real, the supplier names were real, but the deposit amounts were wrong. The cabinet order did not exist. The stone bench top was never booked. The splashback was never measured. The $12,000 was gone. Marcus found out about the gambling first. Pokies, sports betting, cash advances, borrowed money, lies stacked on lies. Then he heard about the drugs. Not from Ben. Ben denied everything, but everyone else seemed to know. A few late nights had turned into weekends. Weekends had turned into debt. Debt had turned into panic. Panic had turned into promises he could not keep. Lily sat at her little folding table while Marcus told her. She did not cry straight away. That was worse. She just stared at the empty wall where her cupboards used to be. "So he knew," she said. Marcus swallowed. "Knew what?" "That I couldn't afford to fix this if he didn't finish it." Marcus said nothing. "He knew I trusted him." Her voice broke on that word. Trusted. That was the real damage, not the money, not the mess, not even the months of cooking beside a washing machine. It was the fact that Ben had stood in her home, called her family, and used that trust like a key. A week later, Ben finally came over. He arrived at Lily's house just after sunset, wearing a hoodie and the same work boots he used to wear on job sites. Marcus was already there. Ben looked around the half-finished kitchen and tried to smile. "I know it looks bad." Lily did not move. Ben kept talking. "I've been under pressure. Business has been slow. People owe me money. I had some personal stuff happen. But I'm going to fix it." Marcus crossed his arms. When? Soon. No, give us a date. Ben's jaw tightened. I said soon. Lily looked at him then. Her voice was calm, too calm. Did you order anything? Ben looked at her. Lily, did you order my cabinets? Silence. Did you order my bench top? Nothing. Did you spend my money? Ben's eyes dropped. That was the answer. Lily stood up slowly. You were at my 18th. Ben blinked, confused. You helped Marcus carry Mum's coffin. His face changed. You sat in this house and told me I was family. Ben whispered, You are. Lily shook her head. No, family doesn't leave you without a kitchen and then lie to your face. Ben's eyes filled with tears, but Marcus could not tell if they were real or just another way out. I'm sick, Ben said. I need help. Marcus looked at him. There it was, the sentence that made everything harder, because it was probably true. Ben did need help, but needing help did not erase what he had done. Lily opened the front door. Then get help, but not from me. Chapter 4. Quiet Revenge. Marcus wanted to ruin him. He wanted to post everything online. He wanted every client, every friend, every person who still called Ben a good bloke to see what he had done. But Lily stopped him. Don't become ugly because he was, she said. So Marcus did something colder. He got organised. He collected every message, every invoice, every bank transfer, every photo of the demolished kitchen, every excuse Ben had sent. He called the supplier and got written confirmation that no order was placed. He spoke to the unpaid worker. He helped Lily submit a formal claim. No screaming, no threats, no public meltdown, just paper, dates, facts, evidence. And while the claim worked its way forward, Marcus started something else. Every Saturday he came to Lily's house. At first he did not know what he was doing. He watched videos. He asked questions at hardware stores. He called old tradies from Ben's past who still had enough respect for Marcus to give advice. Then something unexpected happened. People showed up. The neighbour across the road offered his trailer. One of Lily's aged care clients had a son who was an electrician and gave them a discount. A retired cabinet maker from Marcus's footy club heard the story and said, "Tell your sister I'll come by Sunday." A local tiler did the splashback for free and refused to take more than a coffee. Little by little, the kitchen came back. Not fancy, not perfect, but warm. Real. The cabinets were white. The handles were brushed brass. The bench top was timber laminate because stone was no longer an option. Lily chose green tiles for the splashback because they reminded her of her mother's garden. On the day they installed the final cupboard door, Lily cried properly for the first time. Not because of Ben, because the house felt like hers again. A month later, the legal decision came through. Ben had to repay the money, not all at once. He did not have it, but repayment orders were made. His business reputation took a hit. Clients started asking questions. The excuses stopped working. Then karma did what karma does. Ben's own lies caught up with him. The people he owed money to stopped waiting. The clients he had abandoned started speaking. The workers he had not paid took action. And one by one, the doors Ben used to walk through with charm and confidence began to close. Chapter 5. The Reveal. 3 months after Lily's kitchen was finished, Marcus invited a few people over for dinner. Nothing huge, just family, neighbours, and the people who had helped. Lily cooked properly for the first time in almost a year. Roast chicken, potatoes, salad, fresh bread. Her mother's old apple crumble recipe. Everyone stood around the kitchen laughing, passing plates, leaning against the bench like the room had always been there. Marcus looked at Lily. She looked lighter. That was the real revenge. Not Ben suffering. Not shouting his name into the street, not making a scene. The real revenge was watching Lily stand in the kitchen he failed to build, surrounded by people who actually showed up. Halfway through dinner, Marcus's phone buzzed. A message from Ben. Mate, I heard the kitchen's done. I'm glad. I'm sorry I've lost everything. Can we talk? Marcus stared at the screen for a long time. Part of him wanted to ignore it. Part of him wanted to send a photo of Lily smiling in the finished kitchen. Part of him wanted to say, "You did this to yourself." But he remembered what Lily had said. Don't become ugly because he was. So Marcus wrote back, "I hope you get help, but you don't get access to us anymore." Then he blocked the number. He walked back into the kitchen. Lily was laughing at something the old cabinet maker had said. Her hands were covered in flour. Her eyes were tired but happy. Marcus leaned against the doorway and took it all in. The green tiles, the warm lights, the smell of dinner, the people who stayed. For years he thought betrayal was loud. He thought it was a slammed door, a screaming match, a final argument in the street. But now he understood. Betrayal could be quiet. It could look like an unfinished room, a missing invoice, a phone that never rang back, a person you loved becoming someone you no longer recognized, and revenge did not always need fire. Sometimes revenge was a finished kitchen, a full table, a sister smiling again, and the peace of knowing that the person who betrayed you no longer had a seat in your life. Closing line. Ben promised to build her a kitchen. Instead, he revealed exactly who he was. And in the end, Lily still got her kitchen. Marcus still got his family. But Ben lost the only thing he could never gamble back: trust.